Welcome to Pod Me If You Can TV. Lloyd, what DVD do you have for us today?
I have a 4-pack of Samuel L. Jackson movies here, and the movie I chose for this week's review is Arena, starring Kevin Lutz and, of course, Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson plays Logan, a sadistic businessman that owns an underground web show that exhibits gladiatorial battles called death games. People from all around the world tune in, eager to watch the matches. Firefighter David Lord is abducted and finds himself a prisoner, forced to fight to the death. This movie came out in 2011 and was made for an estimated budget of $10 million. It failed to get a theatrical release and was subsequently released on straight-to-video, or in this case, DVD. Despite a really poorly choreographed bloody opening, the film looks pretty good. Former visual effects wizard Jonah Loop, in his directorial debut, utilizes his budget really well. The battles take place in green screens, and then when the show is beamed all over the world on the web shows, the green screens become exotic backgrounds, like all kinds of crazy, scenes from medieval Japan to, crazy industrial areas. It's pretty interesting. So utilizing that as the main vehicle for the story gives way to all kinds of exotic backgrounds. The cast are very good looking as well. While I don't think he's a very good main star, Kellen Lutz shows off his physical prowess, so if you're interested in this Twilight star, you get a great exhibition here. Samuel L. Jackson is always good, and there's lots of nudity and sex with beautiful models, including the lead girl, Katia Winter. I'm not sure what other film she's been in, but she's a very good looking actress. I think the writer and director had a really good thing going here. We get, it's kind of like Bloodsport, Rollerball, Running Man, etc., but of course modernized, utilizing the internet as like the main form of exhibition. And there is a great parallel here as well, to the modern audiences and the UFC, with echoes of gladiator-like roots, of a savage appetite for the violent sports. It shows as well how the fighters pour their soul and life into their fight for the viewing pleasure of the audiences, and of course to satisfy the hungry profits of the corporate. The big issue with this movie is that there are too many fight scenes leading up to the climax, which actually has a pretty decent twist at the end. In my opinion, it should have had 3 major fights. He has 10 fights leading up to the main bad guy, so it's kind of like, a video game structure in that sense. Personally, I found a lot of the montage, while some of it was very brilliant, a lot of it was very cliche, and by the end of it, because there's 10 fights, you just get really bored. Like, I would have preferred 3 major fights rather than a rush through 10, because by the end you don't really care. Some of the brilliance in the montage sequences is when David Lord is fighting through the 10 opponents. With each savage kill, he has to heal his violent wounds. He is offered prostitutes, and this great mix of pain, blood and sex has a really interesting sense of his humanity slipping away. And David Lord, I should say, becomes more like a savage beast by the end. It's a really sexy and violent movie, and I think it looks pretty good for its $10 million budget compared to, say, Goliath's like Jack and Jill, which was made for $79 million and looks like it was shot over a weekend. This film looks actually pretty good. A very promising action movie with a great looking cast and a great premise, but too many fight scenes just bog this movie down and make it pretty boring.
That's not usually a problem, is it? Too many fight scenes.
No, not at all. Yeah, so that's why, you're watching this montage of him fighting all these guys, and you're just like, okay, we're up to number 7 now, 8,
So everybody's crazy in shape. I guess it kind of is like 300 in that way?
Yeah, kind of in that way.
And Kellen Lutz has obviously got himself in like Hercules-ready attire, because he did that Hercules film before Dwayne Johnson's
Yeah, I haven't
Hercules.
seen any of Twilight, but I'm assuming he's very buff in that as well.
I think so. I gotta say I haven't seen all the Twilight movies, but I'm okay with that. So would you recommend this one besides all the too many fights?
I think it's okay. I just found it pretty boring, but yeah, I would recommend this movie.
Cool. If you guys want to find more reviews, obscure DVDs with famous people in them, check out our YouTube channel or find us at www.podmeifyoucan.com.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.